PFF Women's League, the Capital1 Solar Strikers. Joining us here on this esteemed panel, of course, we have the PFF President, Mr. John Gutierrez. We have the two team owners, Mandy and Milka Romero. Head coach, Let Dimzon. Of course, for those wondering who the players are as well, we'll start from left to right. We have Laika Teves, Hazel Lustan, Ariana Del Moral, Emma Young, and Yasmin Elauria. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Ari's birthday today. So happy birthday to Ari. This press con is actually for her birthday, not for anything else. But let's start off first with a word here from the PFF President, Mr. John Gutierrez, to welcome Capital1 Solar Strikers.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. I was explaining to the new owners of the new team, Ms. Milka and the rest. This is such a welcome development to have more personalities and more sports stakeholders help in developing the beautiful game. We wish that we could have more, and I'm sure with this, with them starting the ongoings to have more support, we'll get there eventually. Right now, for the women's league, I think we have 6 or 7 teams. But once they see how exciting and, in my estimate, successful this year is going to be, having a new pitch, new teams, I think we will have more people, more stakeholders, like I said, to invest in helping grow the beautiful game, especially on the women's side, which is, of course, it's at its peak, having our women compete in the last World Cup. So again, thank you so much. Thank you so much to the new owners to the new team of Capital1, and we're looking for good times ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, PFF President John Gutierrez. Now, for the opening remarks coming from the owners, we start off first with Ms. Milka Romero.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to the press, to our players, Sir John, the rest of the PFF, Coach Let, of course, my sister. I first want to say Happy Women's Month to not only the women, but the whole, for all of us, everyone who supports women, of course, through sports. Definitely, we've seen the growth of women's sports here in the Philippines, and we're only here as vessels. We want to push this legacy that we have experienced ourselves, my sister and I, as players, and we want to push the needle even just a little. And because I think if we can help one woman, one girl reach their dream through sports, then we've done our job. So thank you very much for your warm welcome, for PFF, for the football community, and for women and everyone who loves the game of football. Thank you so much.
And gentlemen, that was Ms. Milka Romero. Up next, Ms. Mandy Romero.
Hi everyone, good morning, and thank you for joining us today. We really want to extend our gratitude to Sir John and to the Federation, of course, for the warm welcome, and to all of you for joining us here. To echo the words of my sister, we're here to, as Capital1, to push the movement for women's sports in the country. We're here to provide our full support and to show to all women athletes that that professional sports is here to stay, and that this is really not just about women not only about women empowerment, but also showing that girls in sports are girls who lead. And we're very excited to be a part of this league. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Romero. Up next, just want to reintroduce Coach Let Dimson, who, just a reminder kung ano yung pong credentials niya. 3-time FU Lady Booters champion as a player. She is a 5-time UAP champion as a coach, a winner of the PFF Women's Cup with FAU in 2015, winner of the PFF Women's League in 2023 with Kaya, and now with her new journey here with Capital1 Solar Strikers, we have here Coach Let Dimson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know what to say, but again, so I'm very thankful for Milka and Mandy for getting this team, for making this team, and we're always being here. We're passionate to develop yung women's football. So it's very timing that this month is the women's month, which is the kick of the women's league. So we're excited about the league and then how we're going to start with a new team, which is very exciting because this is a combination of all the UAAP alumni. So let's see later. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Coach Let. Now, we're going to open the floor to questions in just a moment, but to get the ball rolling, I'll ask a couple here for on behalf of our friends from the media. I'll start off first with Sir John. Sir John, when you take a look at new backers coming in and becoming part of the growing football family here in the Philippines, you mentioned it's so great to see more sports personalities, more people investing in sports coming into women's football. Just what do you hope this would bring moving forward once people see that this is something that more and more people could invest on in terms of developing the game?
Well, I hope it snowballs into something bigger. Like I said earlier, there's 6 or 7 teams right now. With the new pitch, which is going to be the home of the women's league in MOA, the MOA Sky Pitch, I think investors or stakeholders will see that supporting the beautiful game is a viable investment because of the infrastructure's there, the interest is there. Again, we have to. I have to keep on saying that the interest was built because of the last management / administration's success in the last in qualifying and winning a game in the last World Cup. You know? So with new stakeholders coming in, again, I expect it to snowball into something bigger, and once that happens, we encourage young Filipinas to come up and take up the sport simply because there's something to try and achieve. So yeah, very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. John Gutierrez. Moving on to Mandy, because this is not the first time Capital One will be having a team playing in the top league here. Of course, Capital One is also in the PVL. Are there any learnings you're going to bring in, knowing that, all right, we have a bit of experience now managing, owning a team in a top tier competition, albeit in a different sport, that you could bring in here for football?
Yep, thank you for that. And this actually marks our first year anniversary of the Capital1 Solar Strikers in the PVL. So now after this first year, we're now expanding the franchise to football, which has actually been the first love of both my sister and I in the sport. Of course, my sister, we love volleyball as well. But this is football's always been both of our first loves, and I learned that from my sister. And she had, of course, a great career in the UAP as the women's co-captain of Ateneo football. So here we're really excited to be a part of this league and to seeing the success of the fans and also the support nationwide and also internationally for women's volleyball. We want the same for women's football. It's the time for women's football, and we're here to really again, push forward this movement and to make every girl know that they can dream as big as they can and that there are people here to continue to support them. As for some of the learnings we have from this first year, I always say that it does take time to build a team, to create the chemistry. But of course, we're starting out strong also with Coach Let at the helm of it. And we also have some great players here with us. So, yeah, we're very excited for the future of this team. And thank you for your support. And we hope you can support both Capital One in the PBL and also in our football league too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mandy. And for those who are wondering why she's injured, it is football related. You can ask her about that later on. You should see the other guy. Kung siya pa alang, aba. Now, Milka, you have a history in football, and I'm sure you were excited with the opportunity to come in and be part of the PFF Women's League. When this opportunity came about, just what were the discussions had internally between you and your sister, and of course, your decision to finally go in and buy in into this particular team and investment for the PFF?
Yeah, so just a bit of a backstory. Our volleyball team, we were able to get the franchise, I think, less than 3 weeks. This time, 2 weeks. I think we work well under pressure, but I think in God's perfect timing, everything is easier if you're passionate about it, if you're ready for it, and then the opportunity just arises. And honestly, with Coach Let and the PFF being very much capable to welcome new teams, it really wasn't it was effortless because nandun na, everything was in place. And of course, it's my dream to give back since I've been playing over 20 years football. Even until now, I play. And to let you know, I'm also in the roster of the team. I'm actually a player. This is my boss. So, talagang it's full circle. And as much as I'm busy with everything in our business, and you always go back to sports and the community because that's where you learned everything. And as much as possible, we would want to give that back or give that platform to more girls, not just here in Manila, but across the whole Philippines. So very, very excited. We're learning in the process, just like what we're doing in volleyball. So we're happy to have very good guides and mentors and partners with Capital1 Solar Strikers.
And of course, Milka, thank you so much. You took my question away, by the way. I was going to ask if you were going to play or not. But of course, now the cat's out of the bag with regard to that, so she will be part of the roster. Before we open up the questions, because I want to make sure that everyone is familiar with our players here. Obviously, you see a lot of UAP stars, but I want to focus first on the two foreign-based players that we have here who are making their debuts, if I'm not mistaken, on the pro scene here in the country. So first off, let's talk about Emma Young, who is a standout defender for Mississippi College and was a 2021 GSC Defensive Player of the Year and a United Soccer Coaches First Team All-American. This is a very long list. So, Emma, I'm just going to ask you first, the decision to come into Capital One, what was that like for you?
I honestly think it was a pretty easy decision. I was really grateful for this opportunity to come and play and just see a new part of the world and be led by a great coach and just, again, further women's sports in the country and for people back at home that just see me. So, yeah, I think it was very easy to come.
Perfect. And of course, you have Ari Adel Moral. Again, happy birthday to you. And of course, you're coming in with experience for playing in both the U.S. and the Maltese football leagues, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, playing for Minnesota Aurora, the University of Minnesota, and St. Cloud State. You take a look at the experience that you have, what do you feel you could bring in here? And of course, how does it feel like celebrating your birthday here?
Thank you again for having me here. It's been a great experience being here, just been a day and being able to celebrate my birthday in another country, the other side of the world. It's been great, and everyone's been so welcoming, and that's been amazing. That just in a short amount of time, I've been able to see the culture on how friendly everyone is. In terms of my past experience, I think having played in so many places in Europe, just again going how we mentioned growing women's soccer. I think that's something that all over the world we're struggling and we're trying to improve. And so seeing how passionate and how we want to grow and keep making the leagues better and making it more competitive, I think it's important for women that we keep fighting for this because it's an issue all over the world. Coming from the U.S., coming from Malta, they struggle with the same things, and we deserve that. We need to strive for better.
All right, and just so you know, since you're getting used to the culture, when it's your birthday, you normally treat people out. You pay for all the meals, and not the other way around. It's a strange quirk here in the Philippines. So drinks on you, lunch is on you. But of course, at this point, we would like to open the floor to our friends from the media for questions, and this is the quickest hand up. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
Yeah, Bong Pedralbes of Malaya. Sabi nga nung tatay ni Milka, she is the one that got away from the national team. Yan ang kanyang caliber because we know your father. And sabi natin, he boasted and bragged about you. During your playing days, kaya lang hindi nga lang nakuha ng national team. Contemporary almost of Benitez, di ba? Yung mga yon. So, how does it feel now that full circle for both? Actually, you're both playing. Of course, team manager. You're playing as what? Defender. Just for clarification.
Whatever Coach wants me to.
Hindi, parang di ba dati striker, midfielder ka?
Yes, striker, but because of my height, they put me defender sometimes. Basta, bahala si Coach. Yeah.
Of course, Coach Lelet, a good friend of ours also. And of course, for those who are either for varsity or national team, yung first bronze medal, not legitimate bronze medal natin 2019 sa almost sa 2019 Southeast Asian Games. She's also been a national team player. Of course, a multi-title coach as well. When you were offered this Coach Let, to coach this team, meron bang hesitation or any second thoughts?
Actually, I never hesitate. So since I'm always developing that game from the younger age group until to the women's, until to the national team. So it's my passions, and I always give myself to develop yung game. So even if I go to the different teams, I think lahat ibibigay ko lang talaga. So because I wanted to see the improvement and the development of the women's team, especially that we were able to play for the World Cup. So I wanted to see some of the local players to play even more into the higher stage.
Meron ba mga carryovers from your varsity squads dito, Coach Let? May mga players from your varsity squads, then I give it to the rest of our colleagues. Meron ba?
Yes.
Ilan? A few.
Yeah, so FEU, Lasal.
Okay. All right.
That's why there's a lot of UAAP teams here.
Medyo pressured ka ba?
Actually, no. So I'm confident with my players, and then with how they handle the teams a bit. That's why for the 2 weeks na preparations, it's been smooth for all of us.
And follow-up answer to that, my sister's actually a part of the national team then. Yes.
All right. Good morning. I'm Ian Suyu from TV5. This question is for the coach, Coach Let. Coach, anong i-expect namin sa team na to? Meron bang particular brand of play that we should expect for the Capital1 Solar Strikers?
Actually, with regarding to that question, so I've always program ko with my teams. So I aligned all my programs from the varsity going to my other club team. So I think the competitiveness, if you can see my varsity team played, okay, which is more on dynamic passing. So I wanted to see the brand also I implement on this team. So I think there will be a lot of excitement when we're going to play against the other teams na stable.
Good afternoon po, Ivan Swing from the Daily Tribune. To Coach Let and to the team managers, Wilka and Mandy. Paano niyo po nabuo yung squad na to? Paano po yung naging talent, ID and recruitment po for the Women's League?
Yeah, so again, I work closely with the football community. I'll just give a backstory na lang. She got injured because we started playing football. We also do like a weekend. Alam mo, weekend warriors, naglalaro kami. And then, from there, pinilit ko yung ibang mga Ateneo players, laro tayo. Yung mga iba, busy, ganyan. Then of course, Belay, a good friend of mine, Belay Fernandez, sabi niya, sige na nga, I'll join. So, napilitan talaga siya. And then, to join the team. And I said, bring other players, I need more. Then she brought, players that she knew, and sobrang galing. Sabi ko, wow, nananalo tayo, which, to be honest, my teams, we were always underdog. So sabi ko, ang gagaling ng players, where are they from? Sabi niya, actually professional, but they don't, na-disband yung team nila. Sabi ko, what are they doing now? Sabi ko, this is just 2 weeks ago. Sabi nila, nothing yet. Sabi ko, di ba there's a league coming? They're supposed to join that and everything. And then when they said that it's led by Coach Let, I did not think a minute. Sabi ko, please let me know how I can help this team. Because I believe I've experienced myself playing with these girls. There was a time in the field, nanonood na lang pala ako. So they were that good. And then I said, Coach Let, let's meet up. After 2-3 days, let's build the team. Mandy, my boss, we looked at the overall management and because of our experience in PBL, so we did not hesitate to form quickly and as fast as possible to make it to the PFF Women's League. So ganun ka determined talaga kami sa Capital One, and we want to bring that mindset to our players as well, na kung kaya and kung gusto, may paraan. And again, thank you, Coach Let and Belay, for giving us this wonderful opportunity, and PFF for really, really speeding up our entry to women's professional football. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. Ante Cervinho from Bulgar Sports. My first question is for PFF President John Anthony Gutierrez. Sir, just to clarify, what is the status of this coming PFF Women's League? Is it now a fully professional league under the Games and Amusements Board, or is it still an amateur competition?
It's going to be a mix of both, because for the players who are still in school, we don't want them to lose their amateur status, no? So it's going to be a mix of both amateur and professional. But make no mistake, this will be the highest level of women's football in the country. I know. In our culture, the collegiate games are the most watched, sought after sporting events across all sports: basketball, volleyball. But the caliber of talent and games, make no mistake, the women's league will be the highest point of football for the women. So again, a mix of both.
Okay, secondly, sir, what is the rule? What will be the rule regarding the recruitment, or how many foreign players are allowed per team?
We should have invited the technical group on the panel. Unfortunately, I'm not yet aware of what the rules are going to be. There are rules set in place. It was a very tedious process to get all these parameters, even with the age limits No? I think they all set that up. But it will be posted and made available to everybody, just so everybody is aware of yung rules. Okay.
Okay, secondly, na for Mandy and Milka, no, looking forward, in November, the Philippines will be hosting the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup. So, is there anything that, as a member of, the Philippine Football Committee now, how can Capital One help in this coming hosting? Are you interested in setting up also a futsal team or something in support of this historic hosting?
Again, we're new to the football community as Capital One, but I'm very much aware, and I really want to congratulate the PFF for really bagging such an amazing incoming. Very exciting to watch the women's futsal World Cup. No, maybe I'll just be a spectator there, but again, since we're now working closely together, anything that we can help, and we definitely support the program of the PFF, and we're just here as a friendly helping hand. So working closely with them is an opportunity that we're very grateful for. Yeah.
So we'll have one last
The
question.
players, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sure.
But there are also kindly identify yourself.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm Hazel Lustan. I'm part of the training pool of futsal team. So, we train every Tuesday, Thursday, and CCF 3 to 5 and 6 to 8 p.m.
But playing for Capital Strikers. How does it feel playing for it?
First of all, thank you for Miss Melka and Miss Bandi to creating this team. So, we're so lucky that we're playing with this new team. Masaya kami na meron kaming team na mag-represent sa this upcoming tournament, playing with the other clubs. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll prepare first, then we'll see the result.
All right. No, don't worry for the local players. You can have our friends from the media could go talk to them right after. No problem. We have one last question here for the entire panel, and then of course, free for all na. Good luck, girls. All right.
Afternoon po. Ruben Terrado of Spin. This is questions for Coach Let and sila Ma'am Mika and Ma'am Andy. Ano tingin niyo po, how do you stack up against your chances against the likes of Kaya and Stallion? Ano pong masasabi niyo sa chances niyo to beat those teams?
So I think for the experience of my players, so we are ready. And then I think magiging maganda, as I mentioned kanina, magiging maganda yung competitions. So we are looking forward na great results playing against Kaya and Stallions. Pero we have to prepare really. So that's why, because since some of them are like coming from the alumni, so which is they stopped playing for a while. So I just need to prepare their conditions then, and then ayun lang. Dahil since we are a new team, the lesser preparations that we had. So ang kailangan lang namin is to focus on the tactical side. So since they're coming from a different schools, so yung tactical sides lang talaga yung nagpe-prepare kami as of now. But with regarding to the conditions, so I think konti na lang. And yeah, with the experience that they have, since they are playing for the national team, they played for the from the UAAP team. So I think mas alam na nila, they know their capacity, they know their opponents, and then so I think this tournament will be an exciting for the three teams, I think.
Right. And right now, of course, I wanted to talk more to Laika kasi we're only so few Lasallians here in the room. But at the moment, we're going to wrap things up because we're short of time. But right before we let everyone go, could we kindly push the tables forward as we now present Sir John Gutierrez